Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's BakuBrad96 here after what seems like forever. And crew, I am excited to announce that I will be doing Bakugan videos again, although not that much because I will be working on other things and even, some different content. So hopefully I'll get that rolled out shortly now that I'm back at it. But for today's video, you can all sit back and enjoy some good old-fashioned Bakugan content because I will be taking a look at some more things from the Legacy series. Namely, a team that I think I posted about, but I never really made a video about it until now, and that is my Pearl Subterra team. I was really excited about this deck, if you will, and it's just, at the end of the day, it's just a cool assortment of Bakugan. So not only will I go over the Bakugan rather quickly, but I do have a deck set of cards as well. This is a deck that I would like to try with the crew on Discord. Hopefully, if I can figure out how, I'll get those matches recorded as well. Maybe one of the crew will help me, hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, I'm going to dive right in. So I do apologize if I'm a little rusty, dusty, and musty. It has been quite a long time since I've done a video. But going ahead and starting out with what I imagine would be everyone's favorite, or second favorite from this lot, and that is Dragonoid. So of course these are the little B1 Bakugan, really small, really neat, everyone loves them. This Dragonoid's pretty strong, sporting 470 Gs. Not bad at all. Of course, the feet and horns are manual, so let me go ahead and flip those out. Can't do a good review of Dragonoid without showing off all of it. Not bad at all. There we go. And I feel like 470 is pretty strong for B1 Bakugan. Not as strong as the 580 Darkest Dual Hydronoid, but it is close. Speaking of Dual Hydronoid, I do have my second edition, and that of course is, once again, a Subterra Pearl Dual Hydronoid. Now, I did customize the ring a bit. I took it off, I polished it, I tried to clean it up, which is why it shines pretty well, and it isn't more worn or tarnished. So obviously, if this was an official gameplay, I couldn't use this Bakugan as it's been disassembled. But for collection purposes, I wanted it to look as good as possible. The head's a little loose, but Joystick Jesse put out a video on how to refurbish these dual Hydronoids. I followed it, and it worked out pretty good. I can honestly say I was happy. So mine's not as strong as the Darkest. Mine is only 550. But still a really good contender when you're looking at B1 G powers and the power cap on those Bakugan. I'm not sure if there are any that hit over 600 or 600. Let me know in the comments down below if there are. Definitely like the green eyes on the Subterra as well. Honestly, I think Subterra just looks good in Pearl. And I do believe that the Pearl gimmick allows a Bakugan to not only choose the gate attribute bonus of its attribute, obviously, but I think you can go for the highlighted bonus as well, or something like that. Again, super rusty, not 100% sure. But the third and final Bakugan on the team is Reaper. At 420, it's making it the weakest Bakugan on the team. But again, in the 400s, I feel like that's pretty decent. And all of these roll rather well. I might get a little roll test here at the end of the video. But we all know I throw the bread anyway. Yeah, really good. Not a lot of color on the Reaper, honestly. Between the bottom and the top, it doesn't have as much detail as the, as the Dragonoid and the Hydronoid. Uh-oh. Gonna skip through this real quick. There we go. All right. So that's it for the team. Nothing too fancy. I've got the little clip there as well. Had to get a clip because, fits the B1 Bakugan very good. Going into the ability cards, again, I kept it really simple, so nothing super powerful. I miss the roll all the time, so of course I'm going to include Try Again. Basically, if you roll a Pyrus, Chaos, or Subterra, you get to reroll that Bakugan, which for me, that is like an auto-include in any of my decks that I use any of those 3 attributes. Next up, I have the Ground ability card. Not bad at all. You're going to play this at the start of a battle where you have a Subterra Bakugan, and it reduces all the attribute bonuses printed on the gate card that are higher than 50 to 50. So that kind of is like a workaround for your opponent's game plan. If they have a gate card that gives them a high bonus, you just take it down to 50, and hopefully between your other ability cards, you get over it. It's iffy though, because you're really relying on your opponent to have max bonuses and not just need 50 G power. And then lastly, at least for the ability cards, I do have a copy of Home Advantage. So you play during a battle on one of your own gate cards, and then your Bakugan gains based on its attribute. Pretty much, you're only going to get the 110. I doubt that Aquas is going to come up because, G1 of Bakugan, I should say, or I guess the B1 format, didn't have traps at the time, so I'm not going to be changing my attribute. Subterra, though, pretty good. 110 on your own gate card. Definitely a high bonus. Speaking of gate cards, going ahead and moving into those, I kept it simple, so we have a copy of Forest Fire. And then while this card is in any player's used pile, so if your opponent wins it even, all Pyrus, Darkest, and Subterra Bakugan get plus 50 G power, which, it does give it to your opponent, but it's still pretty good if you think about the G power of the team. Plus 50 makes a big difference. Oh, I guess I could go over the bonuses. So this card, the highlight is Subterra, which is a little counterintuitive, but 60 to Pyrus, 130 to Aquas, 90 to Subterra, 110 to Chaos, 80 to Darkest, and then 160 to Ventus. I have no idea why this card gives the higher bonuses to the other factions. Probably because of that plus 50 thing when it's in a used pile, but I don't know. I feel like it could have been a little better, but this is the beginning of Bakugan, if you will. So next up, copy of Stand Your Ground, pretty good card. After this battle is over, all players get all of their ability cards back from their used pile. This is really meant to be used in tandem with something like the Home Advantage or the reroll, because it just gives me a free play and I get it back. Plus a really huge bonus to Subterra on this card, 140 Gs, while the others get really minimal, so 20 to Pyrus, 80 to Aquas, 50 to Chaos, 60 to Darkest, and then 110 to Ventus. Now, on the highlight for this card, it is Darkest and it is 60, so you're not getting more than Subterra. Again, might be messing up the whole Pearl gimmick, but I kind of built this deck not focusing on the Pearl, I guess, ability, if you will, but just focusing on the Bakugan themselves. The last card to note is obviously the Silver Gate, which is Deep Roots. I don't have a lot of cards in the collection, so the idea here was just to grab whichever one gave Subterra the highest, while the other attributes got the lower end of it. Unfortunately, Ventus does tie on this gate card, so Subterra and Ventus both get 150. That is a struggle, right? If I go against a Ventus brawler, I am going to be in trouble. Otherwise, though, 50 to Pyrus, 50 to Aquas, 100 to Chaos, and then 100 to Darkest. So honestly, this deck in general, you could say, is a very high risk, low risk, high reward, high risk, high reward, however you want to look at it. It's definitely iffy, and it really relies on getting the right Bakugan at the right spot at the right time. Now, if I were to build this deck a little differently, obviously I would capitalize on more G-Power bonuses, and maybe try something like Combo Battle to make use of Reaper only being at 420 and Dragonoid being at 470. So together that would be a lot better. You're looking at 890 on a Combo Battle. And then even Hydronoid at 550 is pretty decent. My idea there is with the Forest Fire, I'm going to get that plus 50 anyway, so that puts Hydronoid at 600. I think that's strong, but, we'll see. I won't really know anything until I have a chance to play this deck. But yeah, that's it, really simple. Nothing too complicated. I wanted to build this deck and kind of bring out the roots of Bakugan the very start of the game, you know, when people were still learning how to play it, and kids were making up their own rules. I didn't want to try to like overdo it or anything like that. So some decks I try to make, and I try to make them like winning decks, but other decks I'll just kind of mess around with. And that's what this one was. It was like more gimmick over anything at all. But yeah, now that I got them folded up, I guess I can try out a reroll. And we'll see if we throw the bread, or I can make a stand. Go ahead and cheat and just go ahead and have 2 cards out. But I'll do, for the sake of the video, I'm only going to do 1 card away. But keep in mind, brawlers, you want to be 2 card links away when you roll. And you know, that's just the rules. So for Reaper, I think I'm going to try a spin. Well, I need to do a little harder than that. I'm nervous. I don't want it to fly off my table. Oh, throw in the bread. See, what did I say, brawlers? Every time. Good old Baku bread. And Reaper's weird because it's like weighted differently. Not the best magnet either there, as we can all see. So I missed twice. Kind of a letdown. Especially on a video where I haven't been brawling in a while. If anyone has any tips for rolling Reaper, greatly appreciated. I'm not sure the magnet on this one. Oh, there we go. Alright, finally. That was painful to watch, I'm sure. But a good way to get back into rhythm with the channel. So the Hydronoid I've kind of messed around with a bit and tried the backspin. But I can't quite give it enough power. Again, nervous. I don't want it to fly off the table. But supposedly, the metal ring is supposed to kind of make that a lot better. As you can see, I almost had it. Getting it over the lip of older gate cards, also a pain. But once you get it on there, it's going to get stuck. But okay, obviously some older magnets on these. I don't know, does that count? Do we count that? It falls right off, but I swear it's magnetizing. That's a shame too. After I just said, there we go, yes. And after I just said I repaired this, obviously I didn't give it quite enough TLC, but you know, I did try. One thing with these smaller Bakugan is one wrong move and you're gonna break a peg or a screw's gonna strip. It's just inevitable with older collectible toys like this. Come on, I want to do the back spin at least one good time for the viewers. Oh, nope. Okay, it's, you know, it's just not gonna do it. One more time, and then we'll move on to Dragonwood. There we go. All right, so 1 out of, what was that, 10 rolls? And I got a good backspin stand. Still worth it though. They might not open, but still worth it. So now, last but not least, it is the Dragonoid. Which I think just a normal flick roll should do. Yeah, there we go. First chance. So Dragonoid has a really good magnet. Very nice. And one more time. Yeah, getting the practice in for when I do those virtual brawls. Alright. Well, you know, 13 minutes in, I think I'm going to close up the video there. But thank you all for watching. I hope you're happy that I'm going to be doing content again. Hopefully I'll get more videos out regularly, maybe a couple a week, maybe less, maybe more. I don't know yet. All I know is I'm back and I'm ready to brawl. So once again, you know, stay safe, drome up, Bakugan brawl, and it's been a long time, so I'm going to do this plug a little longer, but please subscribe to the channel if you're not already, because since I'm getting content rolling, it's going to be brand new, it's going to be fresh, and hopefully more enjoyable. See you in the next video.